Hey, party people. Let's see. So I got the right now I'm heating up my car. So if you hear some blowing in the wind, it's the whisper of the Lord. Okay. So y'all, I was worshiping this morning, and it's just so easy to fall into worship when you recognize and acknowledge God in all your ways and everything that you do and everything that you've been through, y'all. So I went into worship, right? And let me tell you why I started worshiping. Hallelujah. God is so good. God is so good. So first of all, I have 2 apostles at my church. And I usually watch the one apostle. He only come on Tuesday. Bible study on Tuesday nights. Now, God, when I was in church last Sunday, he said, make sure you tune into Apostle Minor's Bible study. I'm like, okay. So then Monday came, I tried to tune in. I clicked the video, it wouldn't move, it wouldn't budge. So I said, maybe it's because I need to send her a friend request. So I sent her a friend request. Tuesday roll around. My other apostle got on Bible study, so she wasn't on, so I got on his Bible study. Wednesday roll around. I really don't know what happened on Wednesday. I can't really recall. I don't know. But I didn't get on Bible study. I don't even know if I seen it. If I seen hers pop up. Thursday roll around, we do intercessory prayer. Me and my daughter went out to eat. Friday roll around, I get off and I get on Facebook, and her video, boom, right there. And her video was titled, Failure is Not Final. Oh my God. When I say she went in, it was amazing. A true blessing to me, to my soul. So when God gives you instruction, you go forth. It may not be at that right time where you think it is, but he gonna make sure it work out for the good of the Lord. Okay, so let me tell you. So then she was talking and she said, failure is not final. Just because you failed at that thing does not mean that it's over. Sometimes you just didn't have everything that you needed, and you need to go forth and you need to try again. She said, if you baked the cake one time, it's still a cake. It may not be as good, it's still edible. Next time that you make it, you'll know what you did wrong, and you'll make the cake better the next time. You understand what I'm saying? So she said, and the thing is, when you get on the live, she's gonna say, hey, how you doing? She's gonna include. So she said, cause I said, oh glory, I needed this. And she said, just because I got somewhere, and I promise you, she was speaking directly to me, and she said my name. She called me and she said, Sister Kiana. She said, just because I got somewhere and I failed, it doesn't mean I'm gonna stop. It doesn't mean that I'm not gonna go back again. I might have stumbled and I had to take a break from it for a minute. And listen to that. I had to take a break from it for a little minute. And then God had to give me the things and add to me what I needed to go on this journey again. It doesn't mean that it was failure. It doesn't mean that it was final. Okay? Come on now. So then this got me to thinking, right? And this is what brought me into worship. So when I was going to go get my esthetician license, the first time I failed at it. I failed that test. It was hard. I said I want to do the written first to get the written out the way, because they say that the practical is so easy. So I want to go ahead and get this written out the way. I want to get it out the way, because that's just me. Baby. So the first time I went in there, I failed. I ain't know hardly nothing. I'm like, what in the world? What? So I failed it, right? I went back a second time. Now, the second time that I went, I studied, I prayed. Baby, I just went in there with full faith that God had the will, that if it was for me, it was for me, because you can fail it 3 times before you have to go to school. This was my second time, and I had to pay out of pocket for my second time. The first time, the school paid for. The second and third time, you pay for out your pocket. I studied. I got on the esthetician apps. I went on YouTube. I looked up videos. I looked in my book. I wrote down stuff. Baby, I did all that, and I went in trusting the Lord. And I went, and I said, Lord, it's in your hands. I remember saying, Lord, take the wheel. I went in there. I'm doing it. Baby. And I left out of there with a 78 barely passed it. How do I know it's barely passed? Because my friend went and she said she went for the second time and she made a 76 and they said she failed. Come on, Lord. Come on, Lord. I left and I made a 78. So I just barely passed by the grace of God. Come on, by the grace of God. So he had the wheel. You understand what I'm saying? While I was taking the test, I remembered, do not second guess yourself. Why did I remember that? Because the first time that I took the test, the man was at the front desk and he said, you had all the answers. He said, you had the answers right. You passed the first time. He said, but then you went in and you second guessed, and that's what made you fail. And that was the first time that I took the test and failed it. The second time that I took the test and passed it, I went in and I didn't second guess myself. I went in and the answers that I chose, I went with. The answers I chose, I went with. And that right there is what made me to pass. Because I gave all my trust to God. I gave all my hope, everything that I had, I gave it to God. And I said, you know what? So if I pass, I pass. You know, I did all this studying. And then my thing was about it, if I don't pass this time, I'm going to go in and I'm going to study harder. I'm going to keep going. But God allowed me to pass. Baby, and I just start crying. Baby, then I thought about how I went into the physical, right? And everybody was like, oh, the physical was hard. The physical was hard. They real particular. They tell you can't do this. You can't go there. You can't use the bathroom. You got to do this. They do treat you like generals when you go in there. I went in there. Them ladies was sweet. And then I was standing up and I was doing mine. And I was so nervous and stuff. She said, why don't you grab a chair? Mind y'all, I was 8 or 9 months pregnant at the time. I was 8 or 9 months pregnant at the time. Hear me now. Hear me now. Pregnant at the time. So God reminded me this morning that he was with me. He's always with me. So if you fail that thing, it ain't final. Get up and go again. Go forth again. So this is why I am motivated to get back on YouTube. And not motivated, I am encouraged. I am being pushed to get back on YouTube because now God has given me a word. You see how I got on here and I didn't cuss? Not one time in this video did I cuss. And I can say that because when I'm talking about God, he is really giving me that fresh water. Like he said, fresh water and salt water cannot flow from the same stream. Now, I do still struggle with cussing sometimes. But it's not as much as I used to. I get on, and that's the thing. When I used to do my YouTubes, when he took the channel away previously, I used to cuss like a sailor. Sad. And I went back and watched some of my old videos. I said, oh no, I could never post these. I could never post these. This is embarrassing. You sitting here talking about the glory of God and you ain't doing nothing but cussing in here? Wait. Relax. That's not. So, you know. But that's just what it is. So, yeah. Okay? I love you. And if you love God, drop your testimony in the comments because I want to say